Hi, I'm Ben from INTERNACHI. That's the International Association of Certified Home Inspectors, and we are going to perform a home inspection on this house behind me, and we are in Italy. So let's perform a home inspection on an Italian home. And we're going to inspect a ton of things, systems and components inside and out of this house. And let's start on the side yard, the lower, and that's the pool. That's the door to the pool equipment. And I know I have 2 floors in this house. And we're going to take a look at a ton of things. I mean, a lot of things just pop up. Home inspectors see a ton. And I'm going to try to give you an idea of what we look at. Right here, I'm thinking about how water sheds away from the property. There's a little low-lying area right there. Here's a diagram of a house. We want rainwater to just go away from the house, drain away, slope away, divert away. There's really beautiful masonry work. The reinforced concrete, stone walls with large footers there, built very well. The stone is great, excellent work. Another footer there. So we just have a very well built home. We just want to pay attention to how water is maintained and managed around the house. And as I walk through the exterior, I'm looking at all these structural components, making sure there isn't any wood rot, where the connections between load-bearing components are connected. I want all of that fastened well to each other and fastened to the house, like there and there. I don't see any indications of roof leaks. Now in the back there's something running, and I think I know what it is. It's the heat pump system. So they have a condensate line. I don't want that to be a trip hazard. So we'll take a look behind this visual barrier. That's nice. So we have a unit for the first floor and the second floor, and this is the exterior compressor unit, and it's a ductless heat system. So there are no duct works. There's no duct pipes. They're not pushing air through pipes around the house. There's a compressor unit on the outside doing all the work, and an air handler essentially on the inside, and they're connected with refrigerant lines. This is mounted to the foundation of the house very well, and there's a condensate drain pipe, and that's what we saw at the stairway. And the refrigerant lines, the zones are going into the house there to the air handlers on the inside, and there's a box that's hiding things. So I can't see everything, but I'm taking a look at the components on the outside, making sure it's secured to the house and that the condensate drain pipe goes far away from the house. Again, we want to manage that water. So this unit produces water, condensate. It needs to drain away. And it goes through the footer foundation wall there. And this is the stairway, exterior stairway. I like to say a handrail. It's required by code, but it's up to the homeowner to install a handrail. And in the International Residential Code, Chapter 3, Section R311.7.8, about handrails, there should be at least one handrail when there's a flight of stairs with 4 or more risers. And the code explains that the height should be around 34 to 38 inches, which is 965 millimeters. And there's projection and clearances and continuity, and it has to be graspable and all these things. But this is not a code inspection. This is a home inspection. So it's up to the homeowner or occupant to figure out, do they need a handrail? And the home inspector can help them with information to make that decision about installing a handrail. Handrails are great because if you slip on the stairs, you want to grab onto something. So in this case, for example, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 risers and no handrail. So it's up to the homeowner. The flat masonry walks and sidewalks and porches are in excellent condition. I don't see any problems. I'm taking a look at a lot of things here, there. All looks really good. So the exterior porches where a lot of living takes place there's a lot of components to look at. So I'm looking really for structural problems outside where two things meet. How are they fastened? Is there any wood rot, settlement, structural problems, roof leaks? How's the water managed? Two components coming in contact with each other, such as the wooden rafter beams and the support structures and the masonry of the house. How are those two things connecting to each other? And how's the tile? Like, for example, here, there's a few things that just catch my eye. No major defects, but as a home inspector, we're looking at everything, like ground fault protection at there. There's a drainage system for the hard stone patio surface to drain away during a rainstorm, which is really great. It's going to drain off onto the metal roof. The fastening of the load-bearing posts. You know, if you see a metal fastener with 3 holes, maybe there should be 3 fasteners. But I like that big lag screw there, attaching itself to the masonry, the concrete footing. So all of this woodwork is fantastic. I'm just looking for any kind of cracks or openings or anything that might need to be repaired, like such as that. That's some basic masonry repair there. And that's a framed screen. So in the summertime, you can screen that area off to keep the bugs away. So it's basically walking around the structure and looking at things. Anything that pops up in my eye, I want to take a look at. I'm looking for how it's installed, how it works, and if there are any problems. And as I look around, I look up and yeah, I see a couple cracks. Cracks in the masonry, they're usually not a major defect. It's probably not a big structural problem. I think a crack should be repaired, monitored for further cracking. It could be a settlement, it could be water, it could be a lot of things. But at this unit here, there's another unit. Here's the upstairs ductless unit, and there's a manufacturing label. You can get some good information there. There are the zones, so the refrigerant lines. They should be insulated, and there are a couple of them that are not insulated, like this one here. It's losing some energy efficiency. That's a minor thing, maintenance issue, and the pipes go underneath that concrete structure there, so I can't see everything. And the garden area is beautiful. Just want to make sure that the water is managed well and we don't have any trip hazards. And the exterior retaining wall looks good, straight, built very well. There are no gutters here, so rainwater will come off that tile roof and fall. We don't want any wood rot on the window shutters or the window sills or any masonry cracks. So I'm looking at all the masonry where masonry comes in contact with wood. Want to make sure that's in good shape. Let's go through the door here, and this is the outdoor kitchen. So it's a common thing to have a butcher block in your kitchen and an outdoor kitchen where you do most of the cooking, because most of the year is beautiful outside, and so you cook outside and you eat outside and you live outside, essentially. So I'm taking a look at the doors there. Beautiful butcher block. Great kitchen. There's so many things to inspect in the kitchen. Now, I will inspect everything in the kitchen. All of these systems and components will be inspected. And then we move over to the storage areas, the extra coolant areas, refrigerant areas to keep your food stored. And then there's the outdoor sink to clean things. Not the kitchen sink, but just to clean maybe the fish. And then there's the grill, the outdoor grill. You got to have one of those. So that's the outdoor kitchen where you do most of the cooking and the living, because it's such a beautiful place outside. This house is designed so well to live both indoors and outdoors, but to really enjoy outside. And over here, the garden area, taking a look at how the shrubbery is maintained. It looks in great shape. And then I saw pipes in a container, and I realized, this is the underground cistern, the water storage system for the home. Water is stored here and then is pumped inside the home. So we'll take a look at the functional flow of water at all the fixtures, at the kitchen sink and the bathroom sinks. It's a beautiful view. So we'll inspect that pool in just a moment, according to the InterNACHI pool inspection standards of practice and checklist. So let's go inside and take a look around. Simple layout, beautiful cathedral ceilings. Again, same wood structure that we saw on the outside porches. Here's the interior kitchen, tables, shelving, storage areas. We want to run water at all the fixtures, make sure all the electrical components have GFCI protection. There's the double sink, beautiful concrete sink. Here's a trap. It's called a bottle trap. And here's an illustration of that bottle trap. And this type of trap has an interior part that, if it fails, will allow sewer gases to come into the house, which is a health hazard. And if this fails, nobody would know. It wouldn't leak. And so that's why it's not permitted by code. If we go to the International Residential Code, section P3201.5, there are 5 types of traps that are prohibited: bell traps, S-traps, drum traps, and traps with designs with moving parts, and separate fixture traps with interior partitions. And even though it could be made of plastic, if they can fail structurally, that interior part, it wouldn't result in a leak and nobody would know. There would be no indication of a lost seal. And the seal is the most important part because it prevents sewer gases from entering the house and causing health problems. So this is a bottle trap and it's not permitted by code. But again, we're not code inspectors. We're not enforcing building code. We'll let the homeowner make that decision. We'll run water, cold and hot water, at all the fixtures, looking for plumbing leaks. We'll check the receptacles near water sources for that GFCI protection. The appliances, we'll look for any kind of water leaks at the appliances. And the structure. The cathedral ceiling, beautiful wood structure. Gets cold in the wintertime, so the wood burning stove, open and close the damper door, take a look at the interior, any damage. There's nothing wrong here. Everything works great. And some vents. And then the interior, I'm looking at the floors, the windows, the walls, the ceiling, the HVAC units. There's the interior, one for the bedroom. Open and close the windows and doors, the light fixtures, the switches. This is a great window. So you open and close this way, and also you close it and then turn it up, and then it tilts in for ventilation without using the air conditioning, just to get fresh air in. Beautiful doors, wooden doors and locks. Looking for basic operation. And here's the bathroom. A couple bathrooms in the house. Bathroom inspection is the same for each one. And then there's the components here. I'm taking a look at that thing and that thing and that thing, making sure nothing is leaking, right? I'm looking at the fixtures, making sure everything flushes, functional flow. There's the shower. It has a window. You want this to be a safe window. Let's inspect some safety glazing in a shower. Here's me inspecting a window in a shower. And the bottom of the window is about 4 feet. And I don't see any labeling or etching or designation that this is safety glass, safety glazing. We don't want this to be a hazard. So it has to be a safety glass or safety glazing. So when you have a window in a wet location, like a shower, and it's below 60 inches measured vertically above the walking surface of the shower, like my inspection, then it has to be safety glazing. So safety glazing is required adjacent to hot tubs, spas, whirlpools, saunas, tubs, showers, swimming pools. Because of the presence of water, these locations are slip hazards, and they need safety glazing to prevent someone getting injured in a fall. And that sometimes happens in a shower. So if the window is below 60 inches or 1,524 millimeters, then it has to be safety glazing. And to identify the safety glazing, there has to be a designation from the manufacturer. And the designation has to be acid etched, sandblasted, ceramic fired, laser etched, embossed, or something that can't be removed without destroying the glass, or a label that is an exception to the rule. So during an inspection, if it's a brand new home, maybe a label, but we're really looking for a permanent identification, a designation from the manufacturer that the glass inside this wet area is safe. So we'll run water at the fixtures. And what I like to do is run water at the shower. And you always want functional flow at the shower, right? So let's run a lot of water at the shower and then flush the toilet. And run water at the sink. It's running now. So everything is running all at the same time. So that's a good test. Seems to be working well. No water leaks, nothing abnormal. The shower is draining. There's hot and cold water. And there's the hot water source. This is a common thing. It's very nice to get quick hot water. So there's a tank. And you can get this tank, an Ariston tank, small little tank, and install it right next to where you want hot water, a kitchen or a bathroom. This is electric. I'd really love to have a disconnect instead of seeing an extension cord essentially through a wall. Has some controls and some labels and temperature gauge. And then back to the interior. Again, it's more doors, windows, HVAC units, controls, light switches. Looking at the structure above. This door here, slider door, opens and closes. It's a nice locking mechanism. Just more of the interior, wrapping it up. Just some little minor things. We don't want water to damage the masonry of the house. Keep an eye on that. To inspect the roof on this house, I'm going to use my drone so that I can inspect the roof from the ground. All right, so let's go for a flight. And we'll speed up the video a little bit. But what I want to do is take a nice shot of the property. Just as I was walking around the property, getting a feel for the property and all of the systems and components and the structures and what I'll be inspecting, I fly the drone in that way as well. Checking out the driveway, the exterior, the landscaping, great shot of the town, and the water there. Driveway is concrete. It's great. It has some structures near the pool. I'm not going to walk on the bamboo. It's really a bamboo covering on top of a metal roof, a flat metal roof, low sloped metal roof. I'm not worried about the damaged bamboo. I'm looking for damage on the tile though. I'm not going to walk the tile roof. There's the chimney stacks there. I don't want to damage anything. So a drone is great for a tile roof. I can inspect very closely. Look how close I can get. Looking for any kind of damage without causing damage on my feet. And there's that cracking. Remember that cracking on the side we saw? So nothing's going on here. No major structural problems. No roof covering problems. The tile looks great. Has some algae growing on it. That's normal. So looking good. Just fly around to all the surfaces, the upper roofs, the lower roofs. And I can do this without leaving the ground. And also I can use the drone to do the exterior a little bit. If I had to scan the walks or the yards or the driveway or other structures like this roof on the small roof structure by the pool. So come in for a landing. So we'll do a pool inspection using InterNetG's pool inspection checklist. Make sure we inspect every system and component of the pool. To have adequate and functional water flow through the pool system, you have to have several things in good shape. There has to be enough water in the pool or spa, so we got to check the level of the water. There shouldn't be any water leaks at plumbing connections or equipment or walls. All of the valves should be fully opened in the system, and there shouldn't be any trapped air in the system. We'll take a look at that. Because the air in the filter tank should be purged routinely. This is the big skimmer. It's essentially a huge skimmer and a main drain. That should be clear of blockages and debris. So I don't see any scaling. There might be an imbalance of water chemistry causing scaling, but there's no problems here. Now the water pump and the heater, they should be on and activated. If there's a gas supply system or electric supply system, everything should be on. Got a safety cover missing there and there. So if there's a thermostat also, we want to check on that and the temperature and the gauges in the filter. I'm looking for any kind of water leaks or corrosion and grounding at the pump. So that was a home inspection on this home in Italy. Every home should be inspected by a certified home inspector to make sure that the home is safe and healthy. Well, I hope you enjoyed the inspection, and I'll see you at the next home inspection.